Hi, ladies. We are into week 3. Can you believe week 3 of January? Today is the 15th. I don't know if you can see, it's softly snowing outside. And I'm in here in the semi-dark trying to, with lights, studio lights, I am going to get some videos done for you. So I just wanted to do a little chat today and talk to you, we've got to get rid of that glare, about my week 2 and what week 3 is going to be about. So week 2 for me, this is where if you'll do a review weekly, you will see what you've been doing, it'll get you excited, what maybe new things you're accomplishing in your life that you hadn't before you did all this bullet journal and stuff. And it can also set you up to see, okay, I haven't worked that in yet this year. Maybe this week I can start working on that project. And that is exactly the way I am actually doing this class. Is the first 2 weeks I wanted to, get you set up with kind of my basics, the bullet journal and the traveler's notebook system. And then now week 3, I'm going to, now that the base work is done, I'm going to show you how in week 3 I go in and set up my word of the year, my color of the year, my project of the year. And if you're bombarded with all of this on the first, it can be really discouraging. And a lot of us, I think that's the problem with New Year's resolutions, is we think January 1st, boy, off to go. We have to have all this in line and we need to be doing it all right from January 1st. And it's unrealistic. There's just no way. So then we give it up. So I hope by the way we're doing this, you guys are just adding things little by little, and you're slowly starting to incorporate these things into your life. For a week, you worked on your bullet journal. You got that set up. You're getting in the groove of doing that. Second week, you were hopefully working in that, and then you saw the videos on the traveler's notebook, and so your mind's going, okay, do I want a traveler's notebook? And if so, do I want one? Do I want more than one? How do I want to set it up? And so you keep doing the bullet journaling, and then you kind of add in the traveler's notebook. Now, week 3 is we're going to go into our, this is the fun week, I think. We're going to go into our word, color, verse, and project of the year. I'm going to show you how to set up a happiness project in your planner, or if you don't want it to be a happiness project like I did, you can do it whatever kind of project you want. Now, when I did this happiness project, it's something that I can continue on. It doesn't have to stop because that year is ended. I keep that whole planner together. I haven't used it for anything else, and that is my happiness planner. And this year, though, I have 2 other new big, huge projects that I want to get off the ground. Will I dip into my happiness project here and again? Yeah, I probably will. But I want to show you how to take a book like I did with the happiness project and how I lined it out in a planner. So I'm going to show you all that this week. And then I'm going to give you a video on habits, and I'm going to give you a video on goals. And I'm going to also show you how I set up, I did a year-long class. I took a year-long online class, and I'm going to show you, this was a few years ago, and I'm going to show you how I put that in a planner and lined it up. And online classes, I was kind of sketchy about taking them. I wasn't for sure. They have enriched my life so much, and I've met so many wonderful people, and now doing the online classes and meeting all of you has just added another whole little chunk of happiness in my life. So I wanted to show you how to do that in case you guys enjoy taking online classes, but sometimes it's all out there and you don't know what to do with it. If you put it in a planner, it's there and you can go do it whenever you want. Most of these online classes are set up where you do them at your own pace. Sometimes there's live classes. I haven't attended too many of those, but that way you can work it at your own pace and have your own little schedule and not be overwhelmed by that, especially if you sign up for more than one class or 2 classes or 3 or 4 or 10. Sounds to me like I'm not the only one in the class who signs up for online classes and doesn't finish them. So that's the goal. Maybe we can change that this year. Okay, so that is week 3. Now, week 4 is going to be left over from whatever we don't get done in week 3. And then I'm wanting to show you how I set up a couple of my new traveler's notebooks. I bought a new one from Cheek Sparrow. I organized all my 2014, 2015, 2016, and 17, and I'm out of notebooks. Oh, I know, it's just sad. It's a sad day around here. I know you guys don't have any sympathy for me when you see all this. But anyway, I sold 4 planners, KKK planners. So, you know, it evened out. I'm actually in the green instead of the red for what I sold and what I bought. I also bought a little Hobonichi for doing daily art in, because that's one thing that I haven't done since the beginning of the year. I wanted to do art every day, and I wish I would have incorporated that from January 1st. But you know what? I didn't. So I'm not going to beat myself up. So I was going to tell you what I got done this last week. So I went through my thing that I made in my traveler's notebook about the changes that I'm working on in 2018, what I want to do, and then I like to go over those at the end of the week and see how I did. So going to bed earlier, I've done that pretty good. Going to bed with no computer, I think I only went to bed twice with the computer. And reading more, that is one of my big goals this year, is I want to read more. I want to give up more of my computer surfing time and read. I love to read. I love to read about other cultures. I love to read nonfiction. I love to learn. So I have managed to finish 2 books so far this year. This is a horrific book. And look, it's just the bookseller of Kabul. It sounds like, oh, that's going to be a great little read. Well, you learn how the women are treated in Afghanistan, and it's heartbreaking. This was heartbreaking too. I've started out my new year with 2 heartbreaking reads. What is up with this? This is the last woman in Iceland to be beheaded for murder. And I won't tell you about the end. She was executed, but anyway. And then this on BookTube has been going around as a really great book, The Essex Serpent. So I went to the library. So that's another thing I'm doing differently. I'm using my library. I have plenty of books, so I'm trying really hard not to buy new books. I've bought 2 so far this year, but that's really good for me. So I'm going to try to use my library more. So doing good on that front. And see, you know what? If you write these things down, if you think about them, you know, it's an uplifter. You're like, okay, I'm doing good. I may not be doing so good over here, but I'm doing good here, so I can work on this next week. That's where review will help you. And I have to tell you, too, regarding this book business. My granddaughter, she's 12. I've been telling her that I'm going to redo my books. She's like, Grandma, I want to help you. Grandma, I want to help you. She's a reading fanatic like I am. So I'm like, okay. Well, Sunday, which I always like to take as my day of rest to do my Bible study, write letters. Well, in the afternoon, I decided I was going to start this horrendous book project. Took all the books out of the bookshelves, and I told my husband, I said, I mean, it's snowy, icy out, and we don't get a lot of that weather here. So, you know, I'm not that good driving on it. My husband is, because he was up in North Dakota for years. I said, I'm going to go over and get Emily. I promised her that I'd let her help me. So she came over and spent the night, and oh my goodness, was she a help. She was just such a delight. She alphabetized we got all my fiction together. We got my TBR shelf, a bunch of the books set in there. It's not set up. We went through, pulled out all the classics. I don't think she alphabetized those. And then we're working on the nonfiction shelf and the fiction shelf. She got the fiction shelf all alphabetized. We got all that put together. And we took the bookshelf out of the master bedroom into the guest bedroom, and we put all the books I've read by subject, and then she went and alphabetized those for me. So, you know, if I would have just got that one thing done, you know, and it's well on its way, and Emily helped me, so it's like I did a whole bunch. It was awesome. Okay, so back to this. More intentional reading. Been doing that with these books. In fact, a lot of times my instance is to just go to the computer, to just go look on BookTube, you know, see what new books are coming out. And I make myself not get on the computer, and I start reading, and I'm so glad that I do that. I'm more diligent about my morning pages. I'm going to go through and show you all that. No sugar. I went 5 days, I think, without sugar. bread cut way back on it. I only had a couple pieces of bread this week. And I want to get where I don't have any sugar or no bread, because I did really good at the first of the year last year with that. This year I haven't been doing quite as well. Cut my portions in half. I've already lost a couple pounds. And starting back up juicing. My husband juiced once. And I went and bought a whole bunch of oranges to have fresh juice today. So just going through that, you know, helps. And then I start making a list of what I want to incorporate it. Now, this week, so I haven't started. I really want to quilt every day. I'm determined to get a new block of the month off this year, as I told you. But what I have done is I have a quilting bag put together. And I have a little hand project that I'm working on when I go over to the grandkids, and I think I've told you about that. I'm working on grandmother's flower gardens. So I have everything here, my needle threader, my needles, everything that I need to work on this project. The pieces cut out, extra thread, and it's all here, stays in this bag, doesn't come out, and that's kind of on my go project. Or when I'm sitting around at night, if I want something to do. So that was, I'm going to work on this week, getting where I'm quilting or sewing, designing with my machine. My writing, I've got to set my writing project up for the year. This is something that just always seems to get put by the wayside. So while I'm working with you guys on showing you how to set up a project for the year, I'm going to implement that of mine. And that requires going to cafes. And with developing this class, I'm at home all the time. I spend so much time in my studio, you know, working on notes for the class and pulling stuff for the class and researching for the class. It's like there's no extra hours in the day. But then I think of my computer time, and I'm like, okay, there's a little bit of time you could give up, even if you only start with a half hour a day. So that's what I'm going to do. Going to go back swimming. I had a sore on my leg that didn't clear up for 2 months. Never had that happen before, and I went to the doctor and I couldn't swim until now. So I'm going to start back up swimming tomorrow, and I'm so excited. And then, yeah, that's the last thing. So that is my little video chat for you today, and I am going to start filming some of these things I just told you about so I can give them to you this week. How are all of you doing? Let me know in the Facebook page what you're working on, if you got a bullet journal set up. I know Cheryl, who just joined our class, was it last week? She's got her bullet journal set up. And thank you, Tina, for posting your stuff. It looks like you're well on your way, girl. And then I know some of you, was it Kim who said she's already, was it Kim? Who said she's already doing bullet journaling. So that's great. And I think it was Kim that posted about Grace. That was beautiful. With the like mind mapping. So yeah, feel free to post anything in there, and if you guys have any questions, please let me know. We're halfway through the class, and I'm excited for week 3. So we will chat with you again. Bye-bye.